Many of you guys at the beginning of the year came in and you saw a computer at the front of your screen, your board. Some of them are sitting behind the board, some of them are kind of on a table or something of that nature. And what that is the Promethean Board computer. Last year, one of the biggest complaints was, how can I use my board and still be able to do other things at the same time? And so Neil and Aaron and the rest of the intelligent guys in the IT department, they came up with this solution. They said, let's separate the two, but yet make a way that they can connect. So all of those computers is either a black Lenovo computer or a silver HP computer. Now, Aaron went through and fixed it where usually if you hit the power button, it'll automatically log in for you. You see, in this situation, the computer's locked. Hopefully, at this time of the year, everybody knows what the password is. But if you're not sure or whatever, or maybe you have a sub or something like that, the actual password to unlock this computer is just a capital P, capital B, capital U, lowercase SER. And there should be a keyboard, a mouse that's up there connected to that computer. So if you just do the same thing I just said, capital P, capital B, capital U, SER, and hit enter, it'll actually log you into that computer. And what do you know? This is that filter warning I was just talking about. So this is what you'll see kind of going back to the beginning of the video. This will pop up and you can kind of, either just exit out of it or, just ignore it. Now, once you log in, there's a couple things that you need to know. If you are trying to use your board and your pen's not working or you can't touch it, nothing's happening, make sure in your upper right-hand corner, this flame is lit. Make sure that it's a solid white light. If this light right here is red or if it's just cut off, that means that for some reason, power's not getting to this board. There's a couple of different ways that power can be absent from the board. Most of you guys know on the side of these boards, there's a little small amp. There's a button that usually is either red or green. If it's red, this light's going to be off. So if you see this off, the first things you say, hey, let me make sure my amp's turned on. And if you press the button, you can stay right there. If you press the button, it'll eventually go off like such. So you come in, hey, my pen's not working, what's going on? And you'll also notice it's going to say that your board is not connected down in the lower right-hand corner. But so we come here, I got a red light, I press it because I'm a genius now, and then eventually it cycles. It'll cycle through, it'll go through its normal setup, and then it should stay back a solid white light once it finishes finding everything. And then that'll change back and say one board found. Now, last tip that we want to show you before we finish this segment is how do we make our tablets connect to this? That's one of the biggest things that a lot of teachers were asking. In our image, on every one of these the Promethean Board desktops, you'll see a program that says PC Remote Server. That's on every one of the image computers that's sitting in the front of the classroom. Now, while I won't go into too much detail about it, I'll give you the gist of it. You play around with it a little bit. You have a question, kind of ask us here or there, and it'll make life a little bit easier. But once you double click on it, it's going to come up, and it's going to give you some pertinent information. So while that's coming up, I'm going to grab this tablet. Now, so here it is. It says PC Remote Server. Now, on here, there's a couple different things that's going to be important. And the main thing that's going to be important is this line right here that says IP address 10.9.8.73. At different schools, at different locations, that IP address is going to be different. It's going to be specific to that individual computer. So you can disregard this particular number, but once you open it, it's going to give you the number that you're going to need for your particular device. Now, on your Lenovo tablet, once you get it, there's another part that you have to get. The other part is actually inside of the Microsoft store. Once you go into the Microsoft store, which is usually a little icon down here or in your taskbar, you'll press it, it loads up. You'll click up there and you'll search for PC Remote, and it's going to be the first thing that pops up. And once you click on it, I'm already logged in here, so there's one other step. You just have to make sure you're logged into the store. But you're going to see this screen, and once you see the screen, you'll just simply click Install. it'll go through, it's going to install the app. Once our app's installed, this screen is going to come up. It's going to say remote PC, Windows, discovering computers. Well, it's not as smart as Aaron or Neil or even Charlie, so you're going to click where it says, I don't see my computer. And that's where you'll click right here where it says IP address, and you'll actually type that IP address there in. Once you type it in, see if I'm going to be smart enough to get it to connect. It'll go through, and eventually, once you type that in, if you type it in correct, it's going to locate it. And at that point, see, I'm not that smart, but it'll connect. And once it connects, you'll make a virtual connection between this device and your computer. And once you play around with it, you'll be able to actually control this Promethean Board PC from your laptop, your Lenovo tablet. All right, thank you. This is a tip from the IT department. Thank you for tuning in.